new tool that I think you'll be interested in. So, with no further ado, why don't we do that? Ed, I'm going to make you the presenter.
Okay.
Okay. And you should be getting that signal right now.
All right.
And there it is. Yes, it is.
And there it is.
Yes.
All right. Well, good evening, everybody. My name is Ed Maynard. In case you don't know me, I'm the, I hope you know me, but in case you don't, I am the technology integrator for grades K through 6 in the elementary schools. I've been at all 8 elementary schools already this year. But I know I'm kind of known as the VR guy, but that's not what I want to be known for. Although that was a big hit, and it still is a big hit. And right now, the VR goggles are at 79th Street School and at GJ Mann. So there's been an email that was put out about how to book your times with them. Both tech associates in both buildings have done a great job understanding and picking up how to set up the goggles and do all that. So by all means, just go to any of my emails. Well, actually, go to my most recent email, and it'll tell you, how to book your your VR tour. And then if you go to any of my regular emails down at the bottom where my signature is, I always have a link down there on how to book me in particular. And if you are interested in having me come in and run a Nearpod lesson, because remember we have some required lessons, district mandated, if you will, kind of softly mandated district lessons using technology. We're trying to implement and integrate the ISTE standards this year. So we're rolling out standards 1 and 2. Standard 1 we're pretty much already doing when you do things like NWEA and Slim Blue and those kinds of things. But standard 2 is more on digital citizenship, and that's something that we really need to start going after at a very, very young age so that these kids understand the impact that social media has in the world and has on each other and peers and family and all that kind of fun stuff. So what I've been using is a product known as Nearpod. And Nearpod's been out for several years now. It's not like a huge new thing. It's been out for several years, but it's really starting to pick up more and more right now. I was at the NiceGate conference a couple months ago, and they had a huge presence there. That's the New York State Tech Geeks Association thing that happened up in Rochester, and Nearpod had a very big presence there. And they're at the same thing at the ISTE conference, which is the International Society for Technology and Education. So they had a huge presence there. So it's definitely a product that's been around, and it's been a product that's been tried and works very, very well with your classes. So I've done it with all of our kindergartens 1s and 2s. And if you are a kindergarten 1 and 2 and I didn't come to your room, then you probably didn't book me, because I've pretty much been to about 90 to 95% of all K1, 2 classrooms. But there are some that might have missed due to whatever reasons. But I'll still be happy to come back to your rooms and run a couple of these. But basically, what I'm going to do today is we're going to sit as a student, and I'm going to show you what it feels like to be a student sitting in a class with Nearpod as the tool. So, you know what? Do I have, Gene or Roger, do I have power? I don't see the hand anymore. Do we have the hand? Is the hand still there?
Yes, in the questions.
All right. Do people know how to use the hands?
Well, we've had no difficulty with that. They're using the hand in all digits.
Oh, beautiful.
Time to time.
Well, can we do this then? If I can ask everybody, please raise your hand if you've ever used a PowerPoint in your class before. And the hand is on the right-hand side of your screen, where the dashboard is, a little tab on the right side. And I'm just kind of scrolling down. Cassie Slayman.
A lot of hands, yes.
A lot of hands going up. All right, good. All right, I'm going to lower everybody's hand right now.
Yes.
All right. Basically, then Nearpod is basically what I've kind of called kind of PowerPoint on steroids, because yes, it functions as a PowerPoint, it functions as a direct instruction tool, which is fine and dandy. But what we're trying to do with the new ISTE standards, and what we're trying to do with kids in general, is trying to get them, to be more interactive, to have lessons more interactive, to have lessons more engaging. And that's one of our foundational 5s as well. So we want to try to engage our students as much as possible, and using this product will definitely help us get there. So what I'm going to have everybody do, if you can minimize the webinar right now, so hit your minus button. And if you can open up a new tab on your browser, so if you click on your Chrome browser, or if you're using Internet Explorer, which God, I hope you're not using, but if you are using that, feel free to go ahead and open up a new tab or open up Internet Explorer or Chrome or Edge. And I'm going to need you to go to nearpod.com, because if you look on my screen, you have a 5-letter code there. And when you get to nearpod.com, it's going to ask you to plug in a code or join a code or something like that. And the 5-letter code is on my screen right now. It's Z as in zebra, T as in Tom, C as in cat, R as in red, and B as in boy. ZTCRB. So you're going to go to nearpod.com and then join a class or join a code. Don't sign in. You don't even need to sign in. You're going to act as a student right now. So this is what all of your kids would do. And it doesn't matter if it's kindergarten through grade 12 or college or a webinar. It all works the same way. All right. So once again, you go to nearpod.com, NEARPOD, nearpod.com. And then you're going to join the code ZTCRB. ZTCRB. Caps, lower, it doesn't matter. So what we're going to do within the webinar right now is I'm just going to leave my voice going on your computer, but you're going to leave the webinar and you're going to join this Nearpod session. So we're actually going to run the webinar through Nearpod now. So again, ZTCRB. And I'm going to look down here. Oops. I can see 14 of my students are in. Tamala is in. Ashley is in. Brandy Brown is in. Brian, congratulations. Catherine is here. Chris, Dave Glahe, Mr. Colbago, Collins, Jessica's here, the better half of the Collins duo. Kaylee Sonnenberg. I don't know who Cool B J21. I don't know
That's
who
my
that is.
daughter, Jessica.
Oh, beautiful. All right. Matt Duffy is here. Megan, Rich, Roger Carroll, Valerie Klender. Okay, so I see 17 people. And I know we have 23 in attendance, so there's about, oh, okay, we're getting 19. So once you get into the code, it's going to ask you for your name. You could just give me your first name. You don't even need to put in your email address, but if you got one, if you already did it, then no big deal. So once again, that code is ZTCRB. We're up to 20 right now. People are coming in. All right. Now, once you officially get in, your screen is going to look like my screen. And you're going to see an orange t-shirt. And for those of you that were at the LaSalle Prep School Social Studies Professional Development last week or a week and a half ago, whenever that was, I apologize, but this is going to be the same presentation. But the last half hour, we are going to be getting into, how to actually create your own lessons. All right, so I do have 20 people that have logged in right now correctly. Brian, Brandy, Tamala, Ashley, Catherine, Cheryl, Chris, Stan, Dave Glahe, Colbago, Jessica Collins, Kaylee Sonnenberg, Colbago's daughter, Lisa, Matt Duffy, Megan, Rich, Rick Corella, Roger Carroll, and Valerie Klender. All right, so I'm up to 20 in my Nearpod, and we have 23 that are in the program. So we have a couple that are maybe they stepped away for a second. So, but I'm gonna actually get going. If you are still lost days or confused, you want to come back over to the webinar, you're more than welcome to, because you'll see what's on my screen. But the power of this is really going to be seeing what's actually on your screen. Because what I'm going to be doing here in a second, again, is I'm running this as a teacher standing in front of 30 kids. All right, you are my 30 kids that are sitting out there right now in your home in your pajamas and drinking whatever. All right, so you're my 30 students right now. I'm the teacher. What I'm going to do is I'm going to advance the slide. So as soon as I hit my right arrow, you're going to see all of your slides just change, correct? Roger, Jean, Did your
Yep.
Yeah.
All set.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now you'll see that the learning objectives, now this is shown up now on your computer. You're not on the webinar. This is your computer. All right, so you don't need a webinar to make this run. This is in your class. The kids just join with a 5-letter code, just like Kahoot, or just like Quizzes, or just like Socrative, or Quizlet Live, or any of those kind of programs where all you need to do is punch in that 5-digit code and you're in. So here are our learning objectives. So this is, again, more for teachers. All right. Now, what we're going to do first, this is the next slide that you see now that's on your screen. Again, this is an engagement tool that Nearpod offers, and this slide is what's called a collaborative board. It's called the Collaborate board. So basically what you're going to have here in a second is you're going to get the ability to take a Post-it note, type something on a Post-it note, and you're going to stick it on the corkboard. All right. I'm not going to approve, like as soon as you hit submit, it's going to automatically come on my screen and on everybody else's screen. So let's please be adults and make sure we're doing something on the right thing here. So I'm going to go no. Okay, so first of all, you have your screen right now. It says, do you have a favorite college? And what I need you to do is type the college name, or you can insert a picture of that college's logo or mascot. And if you have the little picture icon, uh, down by where you're typing something in, there's a little image icon right there. You can find a picture for Niagara University. So Valerie Klender, there you go. Mr. Mala is excellent. Thank you. There we go. So now we have Florida Gators. We got Syracuse. We got Buff State, Notre Dame, OSU, Matt Duffy at NU, Jessica Collins at UB, Mr. Corella. Nice job. Go Bengals. Dave Striglehi at Buff. Okay, we got one at Fredonia, and so on and so forth. So this is a way in which the kids are all collaborating, and you'll notice that there's little hearts on everybody's screen right there. So one of the things that kids love is they like their likes. All right, so what you can do is, like, let's say, for example, you're a Niagara University person. You can see other people's Niagara University, and you can go around and click on their little hearts. Like I just clicked on Tamala's heart. I just clicked on Matt Duffy's heart. And then people can see how many likes that they get for basically their college. Will, I'm going to click on yours because I do like Florida Gators. I was there 2 years ago watching a softball game, actually. All right. So again, this is a collaborate board, and I can go through and I can say, you know what, I like this one a lot, and I can, on your screen you see everybody else's posts, so you can kind of scroll down and see what everybody else has put in there. So it's a cool little way of getting everybody kind of involved in the lesson right off the bat. All right, I'm changing screen, so let's go ahead and get started. So basically, this little program is all about what's called College Color Day. And many schools across the country, on Friday, August 30th, is what's called College Color Day. Now, I don't know how many of you have ever heard this story, but this was a great story that happened at the beginning of the school year. And it really, for me, with a kid with special needs and kid that's, kind of been, bullied from time to time, this one kind of was a nice story. So anyways, on Friday, August 30th is what's called College Color Day. And we're not in school, obviously, by then, so we don't really participate in College Color Day, but that's why I'd asked you, did your school participate in this? And probably not, but talk with your classmates. So this is a lesson that's already been kind of pre-created. I've kind of added more bells and whistles to make it look a little bit more presentable here. All right. Okay, here comes another Collaborate board. And what would you do if you wanted to participate in this day, but didn't own any clothing to represent your favorite school? So what you're supposed to do on this college day is you're supposed to wear your favorite college's colors to school on that particular day. But what happens if you did not have an actual Niagara University shirt? What would you do instead? So go ahead and put your answer down there in the bottom, and then go ahead and hit post. So we see people putting wear the school colors anyways, make a poster, dress in the school colors, wear a purple t-shirt, Valerie Klender with her purple t-shirt, not go to school. Yeah, Brian, yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, wear ribbons in my hair. Yeah, I would totally do the same thing with what little hair I have left. Jean Colbego would stay home. Brandy Brown, very nice purple dress. Roger Carroll would just Google it, and so on and so forth. So again, you can go around and put people's likes, and the kids really like this. Notice there's no thumbs down, or there's no I don't like that one. There's no negative statements there. It's just a simple like, it's a simple agree and whatnot. All right, so I think we kind of get the idea here on the collaborate board. All right, so let's learn about what kind of happened here. We're going to talk about Tennessee because there was something that happened in Tennessee, and this is, like I said, it was a great story right back at the beginning of the school year. Now, we're going to do what's called a draw it screen. On your screen right now is a map of the United States. Down in your lower left corner, you're going to find some drawing tools. All right, you'll find the marker in the lower left corner. It's a blue circle, looks like a marker. So if you click on that, and if you were kids, say you're even kindergarten, first or second, you could just use the touchscreen computers, especially when those new touchscreens get in, right, Mr. Canary? You could use the touchscreen computers, and the kids can just touch the screen, and now all of a sudden they have their markers, and away they go. So what I need you to do is, I need you to pick a marker, and using the drawing tools, I need you to put a star in the general area where Tennessee is. So go ahead and put a star or an X where you think Tennessee is, and then go ahead and hit submit. Now what I see on my screen, if you want to flip back to the webinar real quick, you can see the same thing. It's really cool. So if you wanted to like minimize the webinar real quickly and come back over to my screen real fast, first put your answer in there first. Try not to embarrass yourself. Okay, good. Most people are getting Tennessee in the general area. That's good. That's good. But if you look at my screen on the webinar, you'll notice that there is a thumbnail of every single picture from every single student in the class. So this way, this is a form of formative assessment. I'll know which kids are with me, which kids have an idea of where Tennessee is, which kids don't have a clue where Tennessee is, and then I can address that problem right then and there, right on the spot. Okay, I don't have to leave the PowerPoint, go to quizzes, go to Kahoot. I don't have to pass out a piece of paper. I'm not going to wait for the end of class to give out exit tickets or whatever. I'm able to find out exactly which kids know where Tennessee is, which kids definitely do not. All right. All right. So go ahead and head back over to the Nearpod. And as you saw on my screen, I have everybody's picture in there. I can go, all right, well, this was pretty close. I'm going to go to Gene Colbago, and I'm going to hit share. So now on your screen right now, you have Gene Colbago's submitted response. So if I find that this was a good answer, maybe you did a math problem, and maybe the kids are writing on their screen, they're doing their math problem, and I'm going to share his response up on the board, or share his response with all 30 kids in the class. And the kids love this. They love having the spotlight, and I'm trying not to say this in a hurtful way, but it does kind of beat bringing the kids up to the board and having that one kid right on the board while everybody else is sitting back watching them. All right, this way, every kid's writing an answer, and then you could just pick out from a thumbnail which kid is the right answer. Then boom, you can put it out. You can share it on your screen. I'm unshared it now. I'm going to go over to Dave Glahey. I'm going to hit share on his. So now you'll see on your screen again. There's where Dave Glahey's answer. I'm going to say, very good job, Dave Glahey. You did an awesome job. I'm so proud of you. All right. And so on and so forth. So I'll go to Jessica Collins. All right. One of our teachers at the high school. Thank you for joining us. And you can see her response. So I think, whoops, now I'll share her response. All right. So again, another tool that you can use to increase engagement and to also have, formative assessment kind of going along here. All right, we're going to move on. Now this next screen is what's called the virtual reality field trip. So without using the goggles, all right, you are going to be actually in Tennessee right now. This is in the Smoky Mountains. So you can use your finger if you have a touch screen. I don't know if Mr. Corella's screen is a touch screen yet. I don't think it is. I think he's still using the old clunker that he needs a dolly to bring back and forth to school with. But for the most of us that are important out there, you all have a touch screen. You can actually put your finger right on your screen and move the image around. So this is actually in Tennessee right now. So if you wanted to talk about the Smoky Mountains, if you want to talk about the Appalachian Trail or whatever, in Tennessee, you can throw a picture of it in there, and then you can really kind of give the kids that kind of feeling that they're kind of there. So it's a really cool, powerful tool. I did space, so I landed kids on Mars and we walk around Mars, or not quote unquote walk around Mars, but or going underwater, or the Great Wall of China, or anything like that. You can get a virtual reality picture of it. Let the kids walk around. You could zoom in, you could zoom out. I also put a picture of like Disney World on there, and the kids go crazy when that happens. The fireworks are going off. They can see Mickey and Minnie, and let's be honest, most of our kids are not going to Disney World. So this kind of gives them that real quick experience without, kind of really leaving the classroom, so to speak. All right. So that's a virtual reality tour. Again, it's another engagement tool. All right. So now your screen has all changed. Your screen should now say University of Tennessee T-shirt design. On the next slide, you're going to learn about a student who designed his own University of Tennessee shirt. As you watch, think about who showed the student compassion to help him or her help him feel better about his day. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about compassion, a little bit of empathy, that kind of thing. So what's going to happen on this next slide here is you're going to see a quick video of a newscast, and I'm going to allow each of you to play it on your own computers. All right, because if you play it strictly from my computer, you'd have to come back to the webinar. So I'm just going to play the video right on your own computers. And away we go. So you're going to see a screen next, and this is a small YouTube video. It's a quick 45-second video. Go ahead and hit the play on it, and I'll shut up. Okay, Roger or Gene, when you get your video done, can you just let me know?
All set.
Okay,
We're all
good.
set.
Yeah, and I'm done too. Came through nicely.
Came through nicely, right? Okay, good. All right, so yeah, you can, what I would be actually doing though, if I did have a class actually in front of me, is I have the ability to either push this video out to each kid's laptop, or I would just put it up on the smart board. And to be honest with you, I would just put it up on the smart board because 30 kids, 30 computers, 30 videos going off at different times, the sound alone would, drive you crazy. So you have the ability to just play it on one device, play it on the main teacher device, and you'd be all set. So again, it's a great story about this boy who did not have University of Tennessee gear, and he designed his own shirt. And the kids started making fun of him, and they bullied him because you know how wonderful kids can be sometimes. And University of Tennessee got wind of it, and they took his idea, they took his shirt, and they created an actual T-shirt of it. They sold it. They sold so many, it crashed the internet or crashed their website. T-shirts were on back order. I actually ordered one of these shirts myself. I ordered it in September. I didn't get it until December. But a certain proceed of the money went to Stomp Out Bullying. It raised over $1 million by December. Actually, I'm sorry, by the end of October, it raised $1 million to Stomp Out Bullying, and it's just from a simple T-shirt from a Facebook post. So social media gets a bad rep. I get it, but there are a lot of good things that do come out of social media as well. So, and this is definitely one of them. All right, so now back onto the Nearpod site. I'm going to embed another little test for you here, and we're going to start this activity. You're going to have 1 minute to answer the question. Quick little question here. How did the teacher use compassion? So you could type in a response. This is an open-ended response. And then when you hit submit, all the answers will come to me. It doesn't have to be. Don't write a novel, ladies and gentlemen. It's okay. I won't be upset. Nobody will see your answer. Just how did the teacher show compassion? Or how did others show compassion in the story? Try not to weigh everybody down here. This is I think this was I don't remember what grade level this one was. I think it's 4th grade. All right.
We are getting some questions that
okay.
in the chat feature. So when you want to take a moment, we can address a couple of those. I've been responding in the background, however, for a couple of them.
Sounds good. All right. So this thing was done. All right. So what I'm going to just do is I'm just going to share. Okay. So we'll go with Ms. Galbago there, and I just shared her answer. She had comforting the student. The college sent some swag over to him. I'm going to share Dave Glahey's answer. So people showed compassion by buying the shirts to support the student, and so on and so forth. All right, Brian Collins, people bought the shirts themselves, that showed compassion, and so on and so forth. So I had 87% participation on this. Again, another way of assessing whether the kids are with me or whether they're just kind of off in la la land. So there's that constant engagement. There's that constant formative assessment going on here. All right, so let's address some of those questions. I saw, let's see, I see a congratulations to Grandpa. That's definitely not me.
Not yet.
Can teachers share Nearpod lessons without the lesson being a public lesson? Yes. You would just duplicate the lesson, and I'm going to show you how to get to that part when we get into it as a teacher. Can I do this with an art museum? How to find these pictures? If there's an art museum that's actually in their library, then yes, you could probably do it. But as far as like if you wanted to upload your own virtual tour, I'm assuming that's what you're getting at there. If you wanted to upload your own virtual tour into this program, I don't think you can do that. I believe you have to use the Cities 360, which is embedded within the program. All right. And thank you, Catherine Brooks, for saying love this. All right. I love it too. I really think it's a great tool. All right, moving on. We're going back to a draw it screen. You're going to get less than 3 minutes because I'm not going to give you more than that. So you're going to get a little draw it screen. And if you had to draw your own shirt the way this kid did, what would it look like? Use the drawing tools below to make your shirt. So again, I've embedded a background picture of a t-shirt. And now you can use your screen. If you have the touch screen, I would use the touch screen. It's a lot easier to draw using the touch screen than it is trying to draw with the mouse. Okay. So anything close, it doesn't have to be a work of art, really. It's not going to offend me. I won't pick on you too much. All right. If you want to put an image, there's that icon of the JPEG image. You can drop an image on the picture as well, and that's fine too. Because ultimately, what we're trying to do here is we're trying to get the kids again more comfortable with using tools. There's the eraser, there's the pen. All this helps with computer-based testing. It gives them those skills. That's all standard 1 stuff. All right, we're talking about digital citizenship because I'm showing kids digital art that the kids are writing and drawing themselves, and I'm putting it up on the smartboard, so I'm sharing it. And we're teaching the kids how we shouldn't be laughing at other people's pictures. We shouldn't be making fun of them. Although I'm going to make fun of somebody. Who am I going to make fun of? Oh, Roger Carroll's in progress, so I can't really pick on him yet. Oh, Andrew Tamalo, that's a great one. We're going to go with this one. Yeah. All right, so I just shared with you Andrew's shirt right there. All right, so a couple little squiggles there. I can tell she's quite the artist. All right. But again, on my screen, I have a thumbnail picture of everybody's screen going on right now, so I can tell what everybody is drawing. I could see the Niagara University that Val Klender is putting on her shirt. I could see the Be Cool t-shirt that Brian is coming up with. Megan drawing in Notre Dame. UT, charter schools. Dan, excellent t-shirt. I'm going to share that one with everybody. I'm like, go ahead and hit submit, Dan. That's a great one. Yeah, you got to hit submit in the lower right corner, everybody. All right. But I am going to share Dan's here. Whoops, no, Dan, you got to hit submit. Still in progress here. There you go. All right, I'm going to share Dan's with everybody here. I think that's an excellent t-shirt myself. I would personally buy one of those for at least $3. All right. So excellent job, Dan. Great artwork there. I can tell, you put a lot of time and effort in on this. And same thing with Catherine over here. So I've shared her T-shirt. All right. So again, you can drop pictures on there and do whatever else and have some fun with it. All right. So again, that's the drawing tool. All right, we're leaving. Sorry. Okay, next you'll learn more about the story as you read. Think about how you could have shown compassion in the situation. So again, what I'm doing now, I think what's going to happen is on my computer, sometimes it likes to kick right into the video, and we've already seen the video, so I'm not going to get into it. Okay, good. But what you can do is you can also put a website link. You can embed that in there, and it will take the kids right directly to a website where they can actually read about it. Again, you can put even this on a draw it screen, and you can use the highlighter tool, and you can do text tagging, and you can do all the different strategies that we make the kids do. All right, so I've not only embedded a video into the program, I've embedded an actual news article that shows the Twitter feed that came from the website crashing and all that kind of fun stuff. So again, it's just another tool in which you can increase engagement. All right, let's see how many people are paying attention. Go ahead. Write in your little answer there. What brand of social media did the teacher use to share the story? Let's see if people were paying attention tonight. So this is a simple multiple choice answer, A, B, C, or D. So I can embed short answer responses. I can embed multiple choice questions in there. So you got those state tests that are coming up. This is a great tool to be using for test prep, for both the teacher, for the students, all that sort of fun stuff. So I can see that 40, I'm still missing about 21%. 21% of us have not answered yet. But it looks like mostly everybody put the correct response, which the answer was the letter D. All right, now I'm going to share with you a little pie chart. And you can see that about 61% of us got the question correct. 30% of us got it incorrect. So Andrea, your little status there as a Nearpod super user might be dropped a little bit, but that's okay. I'll let this one slide. And then I got about 8% that didn't answer yet. But again, I can do multiple choice. I can see where the kids are at. And then now I'm showing you a graphic of a pie chart of how the kids all did. All right, we're going to move on. I'm actually going to skip over the screen. We've seen the Collaborate board. All right. On the next slide, you're going to learn about the University of Tennessee. I think we already, I'm going to skip over. See how many of us have some compassion out there. And 2 seconds and 1 second, and very good. And I'm going to go ahead and share the results. And you can see here, this is a poll question, so it's not a multiple choice, just to kind of see where the kids are at. We can see 74% of us would take one. 20% of us, including Roger Carroll and Dave, let's see, who else is Cheapo here? Brandy Brown, El Cheapo, Will, El Cheapo. I'm just teasing. It's okay. I'm glad some people did put no. All right, so it shows you the dispersal here. All right, on our next slide, this is a really, really cute game. All right, so this is going to kind of summarize everything we've kind of learned about throughout this whole little lesson here. We're going to do the Himalaya climb. All right, so this is a quick game, kind of like your Quizlet Live, if you've ever done that. And you're going to need to enter your name, and then you're going to need to pick an avatar. So if you've ever done kind of like Kahoot, kind of like quizzes, and if you once you pick your name and you pick your avatar and hit like your submit or start or whatever, if you come back to the webinar real quick, you don't have to, but if you came back to the webinar real quick and looked on my screen, this is the screen I would have up on my smartboard. So I'm seeing how all the students are dropping in right now. So I see Megan, I see Chris, This is just like the, what was it, Romper Room? Is that what it was called? I see Dan. I see Andrea. I see Catherine. I see Rick Corella. So I see all these people have now all dropped in. All right. And somebody's waving over here. I don't know who that is, but that's cool. Andrea. Andrew, did you create your own there? I'm kind of super impressed right now. All right, so waiting for players. 23 are connected. Okay, we're going to hit start here. So the way this works is you're going to get a question. The faster you answer the question, if you get it right, the more points you get, and the quicker up that mountain your little avatar is going to go. All right, and the ultimate goal is to be at the top of the mountain first. All right, so back to Nearpod if you're not back there yet. Back to Nearpod. Don't be looking at my screen. You won't get any answers right, and you'll still be down at base camp looking like a big loser. Okay, here we go. And I'm going to start. And here we go. Question number one's coming. 3, 2, 2, 1. Oh, my. Question one. And we're off and running. Will is currently in the lead with 929 points. Here comes question number 2. What is the date of College Colors Day? Get your answers. Click them in there quick. Ten seconds. If you haven't picked your answer, you got to hit submit too. I think you got to hit submit. I don't remember. And time is up. And up the mountain we run. Will is still in the lead with 1,867 points, with Chris in second place, 1844. Here comes question number 3. What was the favorite school of the boy in the presentation? If you get this wrong, I will come to your house and slap you. And Will still out with a commanding lead of 50 points, but Dave Glahey close by. Here we go, final question. How many t-shirts were sold within the first couple weeks? Oh, you know what? I don't know if I ever told you that answer. Well, good luck guessing. It was in the one article that we briefly, we just kind of skimmed over. So good luck with your guesses. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and 1 second. And here we go. Who has won the climb to the top of the hill? And the winner is Will with 3,713 points. Gene Colbago in second, and Dave Glahey in a distant third. And if you look, well, if you wanted to, you don't have to, but back on my board is the leaderboard with Andrea getting 4th, Megan getting 5th, Rick Corella getting 6th. Very good representation, Mr. Corella from Central Office. I appreciate that. And so on and so forth, all the way down the list. Very good, boys and girls. You did great. All right, so that was a cute little game. The kids love it. Oh my God, they go crazy. And then, like once the game is done, they really want to like play again to try to see if they can get up to the top of the hill. So again, now you got even more craziness going on in the class, and it's just a lot of fun all in all. What is this? Yeah, I'm not gonna go with this. We're gonna skip over that video too. Okay, so by September 11th, on your screen right now, by September 11th, 16,000 t-shirts were sold 13 days after the event even happened. So that's pretty good. And then by December 11th, I was wrong. By December 11th, 2019, t-shirt raised nearly $1 million to StompOutBullying.com. So again, just a great story, great use of social media, great shine of compassion. There are still good people in this world. And, hopefully we have some in this city. I know we have some on the webinar right now because, that's what you're doing here. So great. Okay. Now here's what we're going to do. I'm going to end the session. And are you sure you want to end the session? Yes. So right now, everybody's going to get logged out. And it's going to send you back to the Nearpod login screen. All right. So that's what it feels like to be a student during a Nearpod lesson. And do we have any questions? Let me see if we got any questions about the student end of it. Can teachers share? Yes, I'll show you that in a second. If you accidentally clicked on the wrong answer, you can't change it. No, sorry, Brandy, you could not change your answer. Yes, you have to be very sure about that. All right. All right, are there any other questions about what it feels like to be a student or on the student side of it? No? Okay, good. Are there any t-shirts, my God. Are there any teachers out there that have already used the program? And I know we do have some. Are there any teachers out there that have used the program that would like to, unmute their microphone for a second? We'll unmute it for you. And just share real quickly what it was like in your class with the product. So raise your hand if you would like to share out, and we will unmute your microphone, and you can share with everybody. Anybody at all, Andrea Tamala, anybody at all, or Brian Collins, or Jessica. Okay, here we go. Dasha Colvin. Oops. Dasha, are you there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. So you have used the program already?
I have used it from fourth or third grade all the way to seventh and eighth, and
Beautiful.
all kids, they respond pretty much the same. They're all engaged. It's always 100% engagement, because if they don't and then they get off and go Google something else, you can look at the icon at the bottom and tell them to get back on. I use it for a lot of test prep when we're doing vocabulary. I like the matching feature, and I like the fact that you can use your Google Slides or PowerPoint and just transfer it right over and then embed whatever you want into it.
There you go. Thank you, Dasha. And Andrea, I saw your hand went up there maybe a little bit later than than I expected, but it's okay. Andrea, are you there? I've been picking on you a lot tonight.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right. Yeah,
Would you
thanks
like
for
to
all
share?
the roasts. I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. Happy Sunday.
Yeah. So I have just played around a little bit with it. I find it really helpful in sixth grade social studies. Though the Nearpod lesson library has a lot of ancient civilization lessons that are, I mean, the kids are so engaged. There's those VR things where you can see, ancient Greece or ancient Egypt, and they're totally in. So I found it really pretty user friendly. There's still like kinks that I've, haven't worked out yet, but I kind of jumped in and the kids love it, and I'm really happy to have it.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for sharing. I'm going to go ahead and mute you. Thank you very much, Andrea. Okay, anybody else would like to share for 2 seconds? Any of the Collinses or anybody like that? No, that's okay too. It's not a problem. All right. But we do have a couple, I have some questions here. Can teachers, I keep going that one. Does Ray know the primary grades are getting touch screens? Yes. I don't know if Ray's still online with us right now, if he's on the line here or not. But yes, the primary grades will be getting their touch screens. And the last date I heard was around spring break-ish. So, but I don't know if that's changed or not. Okay. So Dasha, we already got to you. How long did it take for you to create the lesson we used tonight? Not long at all. Actually, this lesson was already created. It was already in their in the lesson library. And all I did was I always use their stuff. I see if they have anything out there first that's going to meet my needs. And if I do find a lesson that I like, then I'll just use that one as my footprint, and then I will add other things out around it to make it a little bit more. Like I added the virtual reality tour to Tennessee. I added the climb to the top of the hill. I added the post-it notes. I added the the quizzes and the polls and all that, just to show everybody kind of the bells and whistles of it. So yeah, so that's kind of what that one's all about there. All right. And Brian, your hand is up. I'm going to go ahead and unmute your microphone there. There you go. Brian, are you there?
Yep.
Go ahead, bud.
Hi. Yeah, I've been using Nearpod, both live lessons with my ninth grade English classroom, and also student paced. I can assign work to them and they can do it on their own. And I can also print up reports. You didn't mention that, but
Right.
you can also see reports through a PDF of how students do. and you can assess them accordingly.
There you go. All right. Thank you very much, Brian. I'm sure whatever Jessica, your wife, was going to say, I'm sure it was going to be way better than what you had. So I'm just going to give her that credit right now. So, all right. Anyways, so if you could please come back to the webinar real quickly. So click on your little snowflake down there in the tab, or down in the bottom there. All right, now what you're looking at right now is my screen. So now I'm logged in as Nearpod as a teacher, and what you would have gotten probably about 20 minutes before the webinar actually started is you would have gotten an email from Nearpod itself about how to log in. Now, people like Brian, Andrea, and those people that are already users, you already know your username, your password. You've already been escalated to the Platinum edition that we have right now. So you guys are fine. But if you are brand new to the program, you would have just gotten an email, like I said, about 20 minutes before the program started, probably around 7:40 or so, about your credentials of how to log in, and your password's probably going to be teacher1 with a capital T. But once you get in, this is kind of what your screen is going to look like a little bit. I have the administrative end of it, so I got some extra tabs here that you might not have. But once you get in, you're going to click on this My Library over here. And then where it says My Library are the lessons that you would actually go out and look for, and then in the Nearpod lesson library, and then you can download those into your own library and make them your own. So, but before we get into that, what I wanted to show everybody is how to access the district library. All right, so again, we should all be kind of in the webinar right now, and I'm going to show you how to get into, so I've logged in, and now I'm getting into the district library next. So I'm going to scroll down here on the left-hand side. I'm going to click on district library. And when I click on district library, you're going to find a whole bunch of lessons that are going to pop up. Well, like this. All right, so as you look on my screen now, you're going to see grade 5, grade 5, grade 5. I wish I can rearrange these and put them in the correct order, but it doesn't give me that kind of power. But grade 4 lessons are in there, grade 3 lessons are in there. I got to get grade 2s in there and some grade 6s in there too. But all these lessons that are already in the district library, these are all the required district mandated ISTE lessons that we created over the summer when we started doing some alignment within the ISTE standard. So luckily we found a lot of the lessons that were already done within commonsense.org, and commonsense.org and Nearpod are kind of buddies. So we just kind of fell in my lap. I wish I could take a little bit more credit than that, but I really can't. It kind of just did happen that way. But so I was able to find those commonsense.org lessons in Nearpod and then make them more engaging lessons. So that's what all these are. So if you are a grade 5 teacher, grade 4 teacher, grade 3, grade 2, or grade 1s, I got one in there for kindergarten over here. Feel free to start using these. These ones are the ones that we've already pre-approved, and I've already kind of dressed them up. I put some of those VR tours in there, kind of jazzed them all up a little bit too. Grade 2 teachers and grade 6 teachers, yours are coming out as well. They should be there once all this COGAT testing is done. Yours should be in there, hopefully by the end of the week, and you could start using those yourself. But that's how you would access the district library. Eventually, I'm hoping that we'll get a license for every single teacher, and then we can set up school library lessons. So like, for example, I'm going to click on school library right now. Right now, we only have one school in this program, and it's just in there as Niagara Falls City School District. It's just the master. It's like one school, so everybody's in the one school. But let's say eventually 79th will get their own school, GJ Mann will get your own school, and then, for example, like Julie Lowry right here, she did some multiplying by sixes lessons. So that's what she did here, and then she stuck them in the school library. So now if you're at 79th Street and you're a third grade teacher, and Julie says, look, I did this lesson with my third graders. Here, it's in the school library. Here you go. So now when you log into your Nearpod, you just go to school library, look up Julie's lessons, and bang, there it is. And then you can run the same exact lesson that she ran. And then you can team up and you can create some lessons. She can create some lessons, stick them in the school library, and away you go. So that's what the school library looks like. And then the last one is what's called the Nearpod lesson library. Now this is big. There's over 4,000 lessons that are in here. All right. And you can filter it down by subject. So I'm going to filter it down by subject like science. You can filter it down by grade if you wanted to. So I'm going to go like 5th grade and 6th grade and 4th grade. Sometimes the grades don't match up with our grades. So like astronomy might be in 4th grade or whatever. So here's some science lessons, natural resources, physics. There's weather patterns. That's definitely in there. Some middle school stuff. Heat transfer, Newton's second law of motion. You know, a lot of this stuff is not real fun type of science, but maybe we could throw it in Nearpod and maybe it gets a little bit, maybe it gets a little better. Herbivores, tides, outer planets, and so on. Body respiratory systems. So, you know, my 6th grade friends that are out there, you can go right to town here with the respiratory system. So some of these are made by Nearpod themselves, and some of these are made by actual teachers, like Rick Meyer right here. I don't even know who Rick Meyer is, but he made a lesson. All we can do, we can just click on it. And I can preview Rick's lesson right here. As soon as it comes up, I got a lot going on this computer between the webinar and this. All right, so what I can do is actually just preview, like here's a little about Rick. How you doing, Rick? All right, talks about his objectives. He's got some open-ended questions, some vocabulary in there. Fill in the blanks. That's a thing that you didn't see yet, but here's like fill in the blanks, so I could take this and okay, so lungs, and then you get the trachea as a windpipe, and then your diaphragm is the muscle, then you hit done. And then again, it's a form of assessment. So he's got some slides in there from, you know, from maybe maybe he made up his own slide, or maybe he brought it in through PowerPoint or Google Slides. If you're using either of those, you can do that. He's got videos and whatnot. So if you like it, you can click on Add to My Library. Now it takes his whole lesson and it just downloaded to my library. So I click on that again down here, showing my library. It's going to take me back to the library. And now it's kind of mine, because now what I'm going to do, all right, so now I'm going to hit edit, and I'm going to go ahead and duplicate the lesson first to make a copy of it, and then I can do whatever I want to it. Then I can add in virtual tours, I can do all that kind of fun stuff. All right, so I know we only got about 5 more minutes. There's a lot of information I'm sharing here with you guys. I know it's a lot. I was planning on doing a lot more on the teacher end of this, but I just wanted to kind of show you how you can access those kind of lessons. All right, so once again, I hit my little house. This sends me back to my library, and here's that body system one right here that that I just took, you know, that I just, now I can edit and make it my own. And if I don't like it, and I just like, no, this is not going to work for me, I just click here, and I come down to delete, and now it's gone from my library. Okay, I could set up these folders up here. So here's my grade 1 materials. Go back to my lessons. Here's all my grade 3 materials. So these are all the lessons that I stuck in the district library and so on. So you can start organizing your own lessons. Otherwise, this little list right down here is going to start growing and growing and growing, and it's going to look like many of our desktops that are out there that have 17 million documents on the desktop. All right, so you may want to start making these folders up inside of here. All right, so we could right now, we only got about 5 minutes left, but if you wanted to try to log in yourself, you could check your email. Your email tab is probably still open from the webinar. All right, so or you can open up a new tab. So if I clicked on this plus up here and open up a new tab and go to nfschools.net and go to my email, for 22 of us that are out there, I think it was, you would have gotten an email. Others, you've already maybe accessed this program at one time, and maybe you already have your password and whatever. You can just go ahead to click on forgot password, and it will email you your password. I can stay on for another 5-10 minutes if anybody wants to hunt around and look at the library and, you know, that aspect. But I know our next PD day, Mr. Corella, on the 9th, 2nd grade and kindergarten, as I believe it is, with Mike Amici he's going to show you how you can start making your own lessons. You know, because there's a whole aspect of importing your own PowerPoints or importing Google Slides in there and, you know, making it all your own. So there's a lot going on. It does cover a lot, but it is pretty user friendly. You know, like you could just literally go to the Nearpod lesson library, find one, hit live, and then bang. You know, and like for example, this digital citizenship one right here, I could just hit live lesson. It's going to give me that 5-letter code, and I just tell my kids, all right, go ahead and type in the 5 letters, and away we go. So it's a really, the kids don't need usernames and passwords. There's no logging in. They just go to nearpod.com, they type in the 5 letters, and away you go.
Ed, I have a question. It's Roger again.
Sure.
Out of the work that you did last summer,
Mhm.
creating, I guess the simplest way to describe it is kind of a scope and sequence with the ISTE standards,
Yep.
The various skills and so on. Has there been a discussion or a thought to now start merging that information in that direction with Nearpod and with our existing curriculum, so that we could take, say, the third grade teachers, whatever the topic is, whenever they address it in their curriculum, and say, okay, here are some tried and tested already Nearpod lessons that address the standards of the curriculum, address the ISTE standards, and so on. And maybe the thought going forward as the curriculum continues its cycling through, as to now we're building in this specific technology that's just going to help these students that much more with their understanding, et cetera.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, I have I have our action plan up on my screen right now. Some people might be going into Nearpod and just kind of looking around, or trying to get into Nearpod and looking around. If you have a hard time getting in, just throw me an email, or just click on forgot password. Truly, just type in your email address, then hit forgot password. It'll send it to you no matter what. Most of us are teacher one with a capital T. But to address your question, yeah, Roger, what ultimately happened was we created our scope and sequence and we created our action plan in the summertime, and then Nearpod kind of fell in my lap come September, October, and then I realized, oh my God, all the lessons that we did in our action plan are actually in Nearpod, and they're ready to go. So it really kind of, like I said, it really just fell in my lap, and I think what we can do is with the current action plan that you see on my screen right here, it's just a simple what's it called, Excel document or Excel spreadsheet. But you'll see that, like, keeping it private, sites I like, all those are the Nearpod lessons that we already have on there, and that's basically all I'm doing. So yeah, I mean, if we can get this program up and going for every single person in the district, or at least we can have 2 teachers or 3 teachers in a building, like our kindergarten teachers can all share one license. That's not going to be a problem. We can all share one license, and then they can just each log in on their own, run their own lesson, and then boom, they're done. So at least that way it's all set and ready to go. But had we known, had I known, in summertime that this was there for us for the taking, and we can get Nearpod and start running with this, then yeah, we definitely would have addressed that a lot earlier and started some training. But like Ray always likes to do, we like to pilot things first, because there is, it is a substantial cost to getting everybody up and going. But I think it's a very, very useful tool. I think it's a very easy tool, and I think it's a nice tool to get everybody to start, transferring over to releasing some of that control instead of the teacher in the center of the room and directing all the instruction at the kids. Now it's, the kids are now engaging more, and now there's more of a back and forth, and you're getting the kids using the computers a lot more and more one-to-one. I mean, we're a one-to-one district. We might as well be using these computers, and this is just a great tool to do it.
Well, you mentioned the computer-based testing that's going on and growing. Just getting kids on and more familiar with just using these tools and being comfortable with it, it's just going to enhance that whole experience.
Right.
Certainly is, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're about at our magic hour here, and we're going to urge people to take the follow-up survey, which they'll get roughly an hour after the webinar closes, but they don't have to answer it tonight. They can take the next day or two and get back to us where they may want to further their interest and use of Nearpod, and we'll talk about maybe coming back and taking the next step for those who want to do it. And we have a whole lot of vehicles available. There are technology study groups where a small group of teachers, either across the district at a grade level or in a given school, can work together and maybe creating some of those things that can grow out of this experience, and just strengthen that bond using the technology for them.
Yeah.
I did get a couple questions here at the very last minute here, like Catherine Books. Is there a teacher share lessons? Can you store your own lessons? Yes, you store your own lessons in the library, and then you can share it to the school. You can share it to the district, but we're going to keep the district lessons at up to me at this point. Otherwise, it might just start like exploding. I do not have access to the district account. Dasha, yeah, I will make sure that we escalate you to the district account because you are one of our super users for sure. So I'll make sure I'll take care of you for that. Your username is now my personal email. Will that matter? No, it shouldn't matter, but let me know if it does have an issue, and then I'll send you a different one. And okay, I think that's it for all the questions.
Well, may I ask a question real quick? If there is an interest, and I'm thinking that a lot of people are out there saying, this is great. Now, how do I create my own? Would you be maybe willing to come on another evening sometime?
Oh, absolutely.
And
yeah, absolutely.
I think that to extend this into, that how to create your own. I have to admit also, if some people can't wait, I did go onto YouTube, and I don't know what you think of the videos on YouTube. There is actually a Nearpod channel on YouTube with some very good videos on how to create and so forth. So maybe we could talk later about you coming back and showing how to create, because, I think there's going to be a lot of interest in this. So, and
yeah, I think so. I hope so. Not that I work for Nearpod or anything.
That's
I
what we
understand.
want.
But no, if there's something that can be good, because I mean, it kind of, like you said, it's like PowerPoint, and it's also kind of like a Padlet there with the collaboration tool there on the board there. So, and with that, if there's nothing else, why don't we say thank you to everybody for joining us? Don't forget, in 1 hour, you will be getting a thank you for attending email. And inside that, there is a survey, and there are a few questions dealing with tonight's presentation. And if you have any other concerns, please let us know. We'll make sure that Ed gets them. And if you'd like to continue this or have a second session, let us know as well, and we'll twist Ed's arm a little bit. And with that,
no problem.
thanks a lot. Yeah, it was
Terrific.
really,
Thank you very much.
really great. And with that, we'll say goodnight to everybody. Have a great week.
Yes.
All right.
Good night,
Good
everyone.
night, everybody.